thank you for joining or for viewing the webcast. We have Joslyn with CBS Brokerage with us today. Extremely excited. Have had the opportunity to work with Joslyn and the team at CBS very closely. So Joslyn, welcome, and thank you for having or being able to present these questions and answers for us to use with the TELUS folks.
Absolutely. Hi, everybody.
Awesome. So let's jump right into it, Joslyn. So first question I kind of have is, as far as why effective in-force policy management is something that is so important to the CBS team, in addition to just GAs as a whole.
Absolutely. So at CBS, it is our firm's culture, and I guess this would be the same for many of the TELUS shops, to meet and, of course, hopefully exceed our clients' needs for implementing and placing of insurance. And in this today's day and age, with fiduciary guidelines and more rules and regulations, we thought it important to be able to demonstrate that we have a willingness to invest in technologies that will help our clients leverage us, not only for them, but for their clients to grow their knowledge base and ultimately benefit the client in this new world that we're living in today.
Yeah, absolutely. That makes sense. And Proformex, does fit, where you will be able to track those policies and be able to offer that solution to your downlines.
Absolutely.
So that being said, previously, what did you do to manage your in-force book, and what was your strategy previous to bringing on a technology solution such as Proformex?
Right. So for our agents, the solution that we provided was a link or a page on our website that had carrier names, phone numbers, and email addresses, and they would call us. And we would go out to those carriers and get data from the policies, whatever the client or the agent might need for those policy reviews, or to know if it was active or if a premium was due. So it was a lot of calling, whether it was myself or our staff, or if it was the agent's staff. But we really had nothing, so to speak, or to speak of for in-force management.
Got it. And yeah, so a lot of phone calls, a lot of picking up and manual effort there. So leads into the next question of how does Proformex help your team at CBS? I'm assuming hopefully eliminating some of those manual phone calls, but also how does it not only help your team at CBS, but those downline advisors?
To talk to it as far as it goes with CBS here, if we get a phone call or an email from an advisor asking for information, we are able to just log right into the system, enter in the client's name, and it pulls up the information 9 times out of 10 that we're needing from that particular policy. In addition, if we want to run in-force illustrations, or we have to make and edit some notes within the data or compare policies side by side, Proformex allows us to have that one tool, that one-stop shop, if you will, to pull and gather all of that information together. But I wanted to share with you guys today an experience that one of my agents had when I was speaking to him about Proformex and showing him the capabilities. He specifically works with clients in the residency and writes hundreds of term applications a year. And we constantly struggle and go back and forth with premium payments. Have they been paid? Have they not been paid? Are we dealing with reinstatements? And what happens if a client is denied a reinstatement? And what does that legally put on himself as the agent if he didn't notify the client of this and they're not able to get new coverage because of their health situation? Or if we go through a reinstatement and they're denied and we have to go get new coverage and the premium is dramatically more, what liability does that agent have? And many of the carriers we work with in today's day and age will send notification out to clients, but they're not providing the detail to the agent. And he said Proformex alone will save his relationship with the university that provides the leads for the clients in the residency and give him peace of mind, because Proformex has the ability to give us notification if a policy is in lapse pending. So now we don't have to rely on the client calling the agent saying, hey, do I need to make this premium payment? Do I not? What's going on? Or a carrier providing the detail to that agent. He has all of that information at the tip of his fingers. Just log in and see right there that, hey, this policy is in danger of lapsing for one reason or another, and dig right in to it.
It's a great use case, and something, definitely to keep in mind as a proactive solution, right? Instead of him having to go and scramble to find that information after he gets that phone call. Yeah, that's a good one to touch on. And then also, I'm sure that makes, as CBS being their, broker, you guys look really good too, because you're offering that solution for him to be able to leverage that information.
Right.
So
well, we even went into further conversation of not that it's the most important thing. It's actually not the most important thing. But when you talk about working smarter, not harder, working more efficiently, it's much easier to call a client and say, hey, have you made that premium payment? Did it get lost in the mail or what's going on? Than actually going through the whole reinstatement process as well. In addition, having to sit on hold with carriers for hours. I mean, we all know, we've been there, where we call a carrier and we sit on hold for 45 minutes to talk to somebody in policy services just to find out if a policy is, where we're at with something within that policy. So time management, when he has, 2 people inside of the office, it is very important to him and his staff. And being able to just open up Proformex and every day just look right at the report, and it takes, 5 seconds versus 45 minutes on hold, is a wonderful thing.
That's great to hear. Great to hear. So I know there was another, since you guys have been utilizing Proformex, another use case or an instance of success that you guys were able to have. And I believe the one was around a lapse pending policy, which we kind of just touched on too, that you were able to uncover and kind of run out with one of your advisors. Could you elaborate a little bit more on that use case?
Yeah, so actually it had to do with this particular agent, so that we were just talking about, and I had notified him, hey, this is on the report, have you seen it? And he was able to call that client and save the case in that relationship. But there's another experience that, if it's okay, I would like to talk about. And when we talk about today's world of being a fiduciary and what does that mean, CBS, our book of business mostly is tied to RIAs. And being a good fiduciary is very important to them. And one of the things that we run into with agents, just in general, is talking about getting contracted with carriers. And they want to narrow it down to a limited pool, and for so many reasons. But in today's world of being a good fiduciary, it's important to not pigeonhole yourself to just a couple of carriers or a couple of products or a couple of solutions that are in the marketplace. And when speaking to and recruiting to a new RA firm, having Proformex hold all the data of the cases that are placed and paid through CBS Brokerage, whether they're contracted still with that carrier or not, was a game changer. They took pause. So they said, so we don't have to just be contracted with just a few carriers, because if we're terminated for lack of production, because we've moved on to something else, maybe a term player, today isn't tomorrow, we don't have to worry about losing that data or access to that policy information. We don't have to call into you and you call them. We can see that all within our instance and our platform of Proformex, plus actually work the case in the file if we need to. And to them, like I said, from a fiduciary standpoint, it was a game changer. It was an aha moment that made them come and work with CBS Brokerage.
That's spot on. That's great as far as feedback, in addition to how others can leverage to fill that same void, right, and fill that same purpose to their advisors. Well, great. I guess, from there, Proformex has been happy to have CBS as a customer, and we're always, you guys have been very helpful in providing feedback and getting us to expand the product based on recommendations and how else it could be helpful. But what are some of the things that you are looking forward to with Proformex, looking ahead into the future? And is there anything specific that we can do to provide even more value to your downline advisors?
Yeah, so thank you. And Proformex has been a great partnership with us, and for us has been a real game changer. And I just want to make sure I put that out there and say how wonderful the tool has been, not only for ourselves, but for our clients. And we are very excited. And Niko, you have heard me say this, for the annuity platform to roll out. We're really hoping that 2021 allows us to have some access to annuities, whether it be from a CRM standpoint or from a policy value standpoint. As an annuity producing firm for TELUS, a lot of agents don't have the ability to keep track of when an annuity might be maturing or reaching its end of term. And I think for the feedback that I've gotten from my agents, that would also be a game changer. It's kind of like that lapse pending. If you can't get that notice or you don't have the right platform to notify you, we need a CRM, we need a tool that will help, help us help our clients so they don't get locked into another 5 years on a low interest rate where they could be someplace else, as an example. So the annuity platform I'm really excited for. And in the future, if you're willing, it would be absolutely amazing to get Proformex integrated with some of the gold standard planning software out there, like an eMoney, where some of the cash value data and information that Proformex already holds can be, automatically pushed into a planner's plan inside of eMoney, as an example.
Oh no, those are two great ones. And I know specific to the annuity platform, it's something that we're extremely focused on, and you're not alone in the need and want to have everything under the same umbrella. We would love to have, folks get in there and leverage the platform even more, seeing that annuity data feed in from the carriers. And then as focus on the integration piece, us partnering with a lot of these outside companies to bring in those integrations is also something that's, that we want to do, and anything that can, better facilitate ease of use for you guys without having to go to 2 to 3 different websites to accomplish your needs. We're definitely looking forward to integrating those kind of softwares into the platform. So
exciting.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Joslyn. I think that about wraps up the questions that I had for you. Was there anything else on your end?
No, thank you so much for the partnership. We really appreciate you.
Awesome. Thanks, Joslyn.
All right, thank you.